The Las Vegas Raiders have done it. They bench quarterback Derek Carr for the remainder of the season. That pretty much means he up out of here after the season. Carr would be guaranteed his salary for 2023 if he gets injured in any of the last 2 games, so they want to keep him in a glass jar so they can cut or trade him this coming off season. Is this a move I agree with? You know it isn't, but I'm still a Raider fan and will continue to root for them every week. This just seems like a scapegoat move to give McDaniels more time. Carr did have a bad game last week, but McDaniels' shortcomings as a head coach are the biggest reasons why the Raiders are at the end of a huge disappointment of a season. It really is more McDaniels than Carr. Carr isn't in charge of adjusting to opposing teams' halftime adjustments. The head coach is, and McDaniels mismanaged the second halves of games when they had leads of 10 points or more every single time. The Raiders lost the lead in NFL record 4 times and won 1 of those 4 games. They only won that one because the New England Patriots gave them the ball back with a lateral edge rusher Chandler Jones picked off and ran back for a touchdown. McDaniels' inability to adjust to halftime adjustments is the reason why the Raiders set that negative record. It's one thing to be an offensive coordinator that calls plays and an altogether different thing to be able to manage a whole game. McDaniels has only showed the ability to manage the game for 1 half. As you know, it's a 60-minute game in the NFL. But how's the team supposed to keep fighting when you only give a half's worth of game management and play calls? McDaniels is a masterful game planner and scripts the opening drive very well, but his in-game adjustments or lack thereof cost the Raiders 3 games in itself. Another area McDaniels is faltering in is one-score games, and they really cost the team. The Raiders are 2-8 in one-score games after going 7-2 in such games last year, so Carr isn't to blame. Not only did he go 7-2 last year, but he was 39-19 in one-score games before McDaniels got here. He also has a record for fourth-quarter comebacks and game-winning drives over a quarterback's first 9 years. So all of a sudden, Carr can't do it late in the fourth quarter? The Raiders weren't bad in situations like that until one man got here, and his last name is McDaniels. It isn't Carr that gets a tight sphincter at the end of close games, it's McDaniels. We could talk about all the close games and big games he's been in, but that's as a coordinator, not a head coach. It's a different kind of pressure when you have control of the whole team and wins and losses go on your record. There's no Bill Belichick or Tom Brady to save him either, so he's scapegoating Carr to get himself a couple more years, and I hope he uses those years to grow and get better. McDaniels has made quite a few mistakes with his offensive skill players too. He's been too rigid, making his players fit into his system and not tailoring it to fit his players. Hunter Renfrow had his first 1,000-yard season last year because Gruden let him run all his crazy China routes and design plays around them. All McDaniels has to do is run those plays on occasion to get more out of Renfrow, but he won't. He isn't using Devontae Adams to his full capability either. His bread and butter was the slant in Green Bay, and that's something double coverage couldn't stop. For some reason, McDaniels won't call too many slants. He accepts when opposing teams double him and goes away from him. McDaniels never let Carr use his brilliant football mind either. He's been watching NFL tapes since he was 12, so he's very Peyton Manning-like, and Gruden finally allowed him to use that ability last year, like the play that won the Baltimore Ravens game last year. McDaniels won't allow that. He's too much of a control freak. It has to be his way. I think he's trying too hard to make the call that wins the game. Carr is the 4th quarterback in NFL history to throw for 35,000 yards in his first 9 years. Under Gruden, for the first 4 years, Carr was one of 3 quarterbacks to throw for over 4,000 yards each year, and he completed 68% of his passes to 60% under McDaniels. McDaniels was supposed to make Carr better, not worse. Well, truth be told, Brady was who he was before McDaniels got there. McDaniels was also the same guy that got rid of Jay Cutler for Tim Tebow. Yeah, he won a playoff game, but he was out of the league right after. So while I don't want to see McDaniels get fired yet, he better prove something soon. Thank you for watching. See you next time.